Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Rest Up Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, John, here with my other host,
Tim.
And today we have a special guest with us, and his name, if I'm not mistaken, is Aiden. Is that correct?
Aiden.
All right. Well, Aiden, welcome. We have a special guest today. This is going to be episode 13 of the Rest Up Podcast. Thank you guys so much for tuning in week after week. Actually, Aiden, aren't you a fan of the show?
Big fan.
You are?
Yeah.
What is one thing you can say that you like about it?
I just like listening to you guys talk every week. It's pretty cool, and just learning things from people that feel like friends, you know?
Oh.
Would you say it's good when you're not at church? It's a good tool to have.
Yeah, I like watch it during school and just listen to it.
All right, don't.
Oh,
obviously not in a bad way, right?
Professionally.
All right. Well, before we get started, editor, you know what to do. Roll that intro, baby. All right. So, Aiden, welcome into the podcast.
thank you so much for having me.
So, how do you feel?
Feel amazing.
You feel amazing? Okay, well, that's good. That's good. So, just so you know, the audience and everyone listening or watching, just kind of, we're gonna ask you some questions, and basically, we want you to talk about yourself, who you are, what you do. Is there any goals you want to accomplish before the end of the year? Stuff super simple, and then hopefully towards the end, if you're okay with it, the viewers are probably going to want to listen to it because I've already read your testimony, and I thought it was pretty wild in a way that is good. And I'm actually really glad that you're here and you decided to come on, and you're pretty new to spending specific time with the Lord, right? You've always been kind of a Christian.
Yeah, so I've always kind of grown up in the church and everything, and the Lord has been a really big part of my life, but I just found that it's easy to lose sight and kind of just trying to find who I was as I grew older. It was like I kind of put my time into things that weren't me and started to it was hard, but I've definitely grown from that, and now I feel so thankful of what I've accomplished and just hope to continue to glorify God as I continue in my journey, and yeah.
Oh, that's fire. That's good to hear. Yes. Tim, actually, so you're friends with Tim, right? So
Yeah.
you two are friends.
Yeah.
So how did that get started?
All right. So before we get into anything, we don't even know this guy.
You're right, Tim. What am I thinking?
What makes Aiden Aiden?
Yeah. Who are you?
I'm Aiden. What else? I'm a junior. I go to Cocoa Beach, 16 years old. I spend a lot of time playing soccer, a lot of time at the beach.
I can tell with the hair. The hair is like a bleach.
Yeah.
That's how you know you're in the sun. It's like a different kind of blonde.
The beach. Yeah.
You like the sand? I can't stand the sand.
Hey, got to put your feet in the sand every once in a while. Yeah. But I like to travel, get in the gym, spend time with friends, and yeah, just.
Is there one place, either next year or the near future, you want to go to? Like you have plans to go to? Is there any crazy trip you want to go on?
We're going to Costa Rica next summer.
Oh, you're going on the mission trip with Tim?
I am.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I
Okay.
didn't even mention that. Yeah.
No, I know Tim said he was gonna go,
Yeah.
and you're gonna go too. That's awesome.
So excited.
Is there anything specific that you want to see while you're there?
Yeah. Well, I went to Costa Rica 2 summers ago, and just the nature and everything. I like to be outside and everything. Just and the people are so nice, and just everything about it is just such a nice place. And being able to have the opportunity to go there and do good for other people, and just to maybe not necessarily see the nicest parts of it, but maybe just being able to make an impact on the people that are going through that, but they still live in that beautiful place. it's just, I feel like it'll be a really powerful experience.
No, it's fire. Serving the Lord is probably, sometimes I feel like it's the hardest thing for us to do.
Really?
Yeah, serve, like definitively make the decision of, I'm going to go serve the Lord somewhere. I feel like that for some people, that could be scary. That could be a hard thing to do. Because I know to be honest with you, I'm not ready to go on a mission trip overseas. Tim, you're ready to go. You got the luggage right there. That's crazy. No, I'm just kidding. But you know what I'm saying? Well, you're like ready to go, and I've never really experienced a mission trip besides the times that we've gone out into the communities here, the communities that aren't as nice in our area, and go out and help them. And I really see the Lord revealed it to me that. But I'm just gonna be honest here. I have not felt called to go on a mission trip yet, and it's probably coming soon because everyone I know now is going on mission trips. So the Lord probably is cooking something up for me. I just don't know where or what yet.
I'm actually the opposite. I've just like these past couple months, just like this past year, I felt so called to go on a mission, and just this opportunity came up, and I just thought it was such a perfect timing. Yeah. And I've had other opportunities, but it just hasn't worked out. But just to be able to go out and glorify God and just help other people and spread the good news is just such an awesome thing to me, and I want to be a part of that.
One thing that's actually I think is kind of cool that you both are pretty good at, soccer. And since that is like legitimately like an international sport, you can go almost anywhere and connect with people with it.
Oh, dude! Like,
and that's a
can I tell you a story about
yeah,
that?
go for it.
So actually, like in Costa Rica, obviously I look Hispanic. I'm not Hispanic. I don't know. Like,
you look Hispanic?
I do. Most people think I'm.
Hey, but what are you though?
Francia. Anyways, I don't speak Spanish.
Yeah.
But every kid there speaks Spanish.
Yeah.
And one of the ways that we bonded was through love. And if it wasn't love, then it would be acts of like sports. So like we would play tag. And the only word that I picked up from being Costa Rica is anda. Anda means like tag, you're it. And you just run around with
Anda?
Anda. Yeah. And so basically, there's this one kid where he was wearing a Messi jersey every single day for the whole week. And so I was like, all right, let's see what.
Is it a different jersey every day, or is it the same jersey?
The same one every day.
Oh man, that's probably smelly. But yeah, go ahead.
Poverty, so.
Oh, my bad. I thought it was someone in y'all's group. I didn't know it was I didn't know it was a person that's lives in Costa Rica.
This kid, I think he was like 8 years old, and he was like, "Yeah, I have a soccer ball at home. Like maybe I'll bring it one day and we can play." I was like, "That sounds great." I didn't know how to speak, so someone had to translate it to me. And he brought his ball, and we played for an hour, and that's the way that we communicated. And he was surprisingly very good at it, because that's the only thing that he really spent his time doing. Because if it's not that, then the reality is that he'll probably be out there stealing some food for his family or something. But
that's crazy.
Yeah. It was a great experience to show how I can use my gifts from God to make a kid feel happy about themselves,
Yeah, that's fire. Are you excited for stuff like that, Aiden?
So excited. I'm stoked.
Yeah. Also, actually, before we get in,
yeah, go for it.
I want to tell you this, that you might not feel called to go on a mission trip, but truly one of the biggest things that I've picked up from going to Costa Rica is that you don't have to be on a trip to be on a mission. Like,
I know. That's why I got the podcast.
Yeah, there you go. But like, there's like people in my schools that I know that need Jesus more than anyone. Like, for example, I literally texted you today. I was like, pray for this person in my class. Like, she really needs some help. By the way, hopefully she's not watching this, because she's not telling anyone. But she was like stressing out, and I was minding my own business, and then she kept looking at me. So I was like, all right, what's going on? And then she shows me this thing, and I have no clue what it is. That's 2 bars on it.
Oh, yo.
I know. And I was like,
how did you not know what it was?
Because I don't get involved in that.
I know what you're saying.
And eventually I found out, and I was like, you need Jesus. And she was like, I got a good life. I was like, no, you don't.
Really?
This is today.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Today,
Today she told me, yeah.
this random girl showed you a pregnancy test, or you knew her?
I kind of knew her because we sit like on the same table, but I don't talk to her like that.
Hey, so Aiden, like, so you and Tim play soccer. So, like, what position do you play?
It's kind of been changing, but I've been right back for a little while now.
And where, like, what is your job in that position? Because I've never played soccer.
To feed me the ball, but
Yeah.
he doesn't.
Ball to Tim.
Yeah. Because Tim's always on.
So, Tim, what position do you play?
The most important position on the field.
Is it like a forward or something?
No, it's the holding midfielder.
The holding midfielder?
Yeah.
Does that mean like you're in like the midfield and you get the ball and move it forward?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, that's basically it, but it's called a holding because that means I'm not supposed to be caught too high on attack because I'm basically like a defender, but I'm also a midfielder.
Okay, so you sit in the middle and basically direct the ball in ways to get it closer to the goal,
Yes.
but
My goal-
without you putting yourself in a way that you're too far up, so there's nowhere to defend the midfield.
You got it.
Cool. Sorry, I probably have like 3 hours of soccer on my belt. Never even played it.
Wow.
Okay, so that's cool. So, how long have y'all been teammates?
Actually, just this summer, because I found out that there was gonna be some new teammates on my team, and I didn't know who it was. I mean, we kind of had some ideas, but like I didn't know them, and so we come to the first day of practice, and I see all these new guys, and we didn't talk to each other at first, and it was all friendly competition at the beginning.
Oh yeah.
But then we like
For like starter spots, is
yeah,
that
just like getting to know the team and
Yeah.
everything.
okay?
Just like new people around and everything. But we started to joke around more and get more comfortable with the team. And I met Tim and Grady and Josh, and they're all new to the team. And what?
How did you meet Grady and I? Like, how did we really get close?
Well, actually, our like first kind of like interaction or like first real conversation was they invited me to Bible study in Vieira, and that kind of changed a lot for me because it was like I was kind of at a hard point in my life, like a really low point, and I really felt like just it was perfect timing, and like I don't even think they expected me to even go, but I'm so glad I did because like that decision to go, I felt so convicted
That's
that
awesome.
night, and just like so excited to know more. And I kind of had an understanding, but just realizing that there's such a deeper relationship to be had was just so like eye-opening. And I'm glad they invited me, and now we've gotten closer, and I go to youth group with the church, and I've gotten to know the boys at the church and everything. So it's been really awesome.
That's fire.
You know what's funny, Aiden?
What's funny?
One of our leaders, I was talking to one of our leaders, and because I was learning about discipleship before I got to know him, and John,
Yeah.
who still hasn't watched the one movie I told him to watch.
The Forge.
Oh, that was the movie that you guys went and see.
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Actually
Have you
talks-
seen it yet?
No, they tried it.
Someone else hasn't seen it yet.
No, because they tried to get me to go see it like 4 different times because
Yeah.
they like didn't have the film or something in the theater, or like couldn't get in or something, and I live 30 minutes away, so
Yeah.
it's like I gotta have a clear.
Yeah, it's a
schedule.
little bit of a drive for you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
a
being
little
up there on the beach.
Yeah.
Are you near Minuteman, or where are you?
Yeah, that's where my school is, and I live like 5 minutes away from the school.
But so yeah, that movie is all about discipleship, and I talked to one of our youth leaders, youth pastors, and he was like, "Well, if that's what you want to do and that's what you feel called to do, then go out there and find someone that you feel like you can relate to that has been has had a similar past to you that you feel like you can encourage." And I talked to him, and I was like, "Well, there's this kid. He just started coming to our Bible studies." I was like, "Okay, did you force him to?" I was like, "No, he actually was excited."
Forced into is
Yeah.
crazy.
Like, because usually, like, you ask someone to go to your Bible study, they're either gonna call you weird, or you have no other life, or whatever it is. But I was like, yeah, this kid actually wants to learn, and I think this is a starting point to discipleship. And from there, like Aiden and I have grown so much, and he's probably taught me more than I've taught him. So it's really cool.
That's fire. That's so cool to hear, man.
Yeah.
Because what y'all are saying right now is literally how Hunt and I are. Like, at first, he actually, all right, so I've been homeschooled my entire life. Never set foot in a public school.
Wow.
So when I was younger, I've always been like a yapper, like certified yapper, like 100%. Like,
Yeah.
I'll say that. I say that every episode. Like, I'm a certified yapper. But so So Hunt and I became friends through a mutual friend of ours. And him and I were in flight school together. So from 13 to 19, I flew airplanes. And no, it was a lot of fun. I did it through a ministry, actually. It was pretty cool. Some circumstances that aren't really my place to say. More or less, something happened to one of my sisters, so we had to walk away from that ministry. And so I knew we both had the same mutual friend, and so him and I, all we would do is talk about aviation, and to the point that Hunt would be there, and we would still talk about aviation. So he always thought I was kind of like a dorky, like nerd, like homeschooler. So like for a long time, we never really like talked like to each other. But then we struck a conversation about our relationship with the Lord and how we've grown through it, and then that's when we really started to bond, and here we are now. And it's funny because it's very how God opened the door for you two to be friends. It was the same way for Hunt and I, and I think that's really cool.
Yeah, and I feel like, especially like firsthand, even like just God-centered relationships and friendships, like once you bring God and you know that you're both like seeking the same thing, it's just so powerful, and just like that you both believe in the same things, and you can build each other up, and it's just a great opportunity to grow together.
The thing I love most about discipleship and like just like walking together, it's more like brothers in Christ kind of thing.
Yeah.
And what I love so much about it is that like I walk through my daily life and like I feel like I'm all alone. Like I'm the only one who does this and this, and like kind of what I was talking about. And like then I meet Aiden, and it's like literally the music taste that we have is like literally the exact same. Like I feel like I'm the only one in the world listening to this song, and then I hear like this kid who knows all the same songs as me.
No, that's fire. Is there like one song in mind?
Made It Out by Caleb Gordon.
I put him on.
He put me on.
And you know what's crazy? Tim put me on, bro.
Wow.
Because I used to clown Christian like rap, like clown it, because I'm not gonna lie, some of it is super corny. Some of it, but dude, I really like Halvey. Halvey is definitely one of them, and it's so funny because I feel like before he came to God, his language is totally different, because there's a lot of his flows that I've noticed that I could picture a bad word being there, or like the flow is just like, you know, I've heard it somewhere else in a way that it's just like, yeah, I could put in, like just the way some of the flows are, it's just like I hear something else that's from the flesh is the easiest way to say it. So I like Halvey a lot because, you know, it's pretty modern. I love Forrest Frank.
Oh,
He loves it.
Dude, Forrest Frank is so fire. And I just like his personality and just, you know, just what he's about and how he creates the projects he does. It's so refreshing, especially an artist like that, as popular as he is right now, to be, you know, a Christian influencer. And it's kind of crazy because the last couple weeks, I feel like we've really seen a change with that. You know, I was watching the CMAs because I love country music. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia originally, so I grew up, you know, on Alan Jackson. You guys, I want to name off people, but you probably don't even know. Alan Jackson. You know, the people that did Life is a Highway on Cars. So their group is called Rascal Flatts. And it's actually crazy because a lot of their songs have a lot of verses, and they're very Christian actually. And some of their songs tend to be a little more sad, a little more heartbreak, but there's a lot of verses that are actually word for word scripture and the verses in the song. So, for them, I'll still listen to them. But I was watching the CMAs because I like Jelly Roll. He is unapologetic about where he came from and how God turned it around. And I really love that about him. And so I was watching the CMAs, and because he was one of the artists that were nominated, and I was just going through my feed watching it all. But it was crazy because so many artists were giving glory to Jesus, not God, because you'll hear that a lot in the media. Like, plenty of people will talk about God, but no one ever talks about Jesus Christ. And so that was really crazy. I've just been feeling like there's a little bit of a revival going on.
Yeah.
So we'll get back to our guests here. So Aiden, when did you know, like, what made you want to give soccer a try? Tim told me you've been playing for only a couple years, right?
Yeah. So I started in 7th grade at the school, and I just tried out because, I don't know, I played baseball ever since I was little, like t-ball and everything, but I don't know, I just didn't like it anymore. It wasn't for me. So I got into this new school, and I was like, all right, what sport should I do? And the friends that I started to meet, they all played soccer, so they wanted me to come out. So I gave it a try, not thinking anything of it, and I had so much fun. And just being on JV and getting to meet everybody and build the relationships that have lasted me till now has just been such a blessing. And to get to play a sport that I love and am still now able to play it is,
It's fire.
I actually love how God just like works in actions, because like if you rewind on your life right now, if you never started playing soccer, like there's so many like people, like significant people in your life, I bet right now that you like would have never met, right?
That's crazy.
Yeah, you would have never met Tim. You would have never met me.
For real. Wow.
I'm just kidding. So Aiden, how long would you say you've been a Christian?
Yeah, so I mean, it's been kind of, I wouldn't say recent, but within the last couple months is when I really started to get deep in my faith, and just being able to realize now how deep faith with the Lord goes. And I've grown up in the church, like I said, but it was always just like I had a foundation for the Lord, but everything else was kind of a mess. And it wasn't, I don't think I knew enough, but I just thought that was all you needed to do, like go to church on Sunday and you'll be good. But my actions paid the consequence, and I fell into the wrong things. But just being able to seek God through that has been really powerful, and being able to do the things that I am able to do now through God, and just how He's opened my eyes to what life has to offer through Him has been really great, and I'm happy.
No, that's awesome.
My 12-year-old self feels conviction on when you said that Sunday, going to church on Sunday is what gets you saved. Like, bro, I was just like, sometimes I didn't even want to go, and I just told my dad, like, come on, like, because we would drive to Orlando to go to church, and I was like, I just want to play Fortnite, bro. I think it's over, bro.
No, that's fine.
And then not anymore. Now I'm just like fiending for church.
Did you have like a make or break moment with God?
Yeah, so I've been through a lot of trials, a lot of rough patches, and some of the big things for me were some bad decisions. I fell into a lot of drugs and alcohol, and just with the wrong group of people. And in trying to find myself, I tried to put my time in. I thought that's who I was the temptation and for the world, really. And just the temporary satisfaction that came with it was enough for me at the time. But just realizing that there's so much more that God has to offer has been so good. Mm-hmm. And one thing that was like probably one of the lowest, like right before I came to Christ, was I had this birthday party, and it was at an Airbnb. We were all excited, and Airbnb, it was like we made some bad decisions, no parents. It was like kind of chaos, and worse came to worse, and drinks were had, and I was at a really, really low point, and even to the point where I felt like if I laid on the ground and closed my eyes, I wouldn't be able to wake back up. So it was just like at that moment, I was able to seek God, and I'm so thankful for that, because who knows where I would be at if that didn't happen. And yeah, so it was just like I knew that that's not who I was, and I knew that's not how I wanted the people around me to see me. And it was just like not like at that moment, it was like I don't want this anymore. Like it was, I mean, that was the stuff I kept doing, or like I had been doing, but times like 1,000. And it was just like that moment of realization kind of flipped a switch, and I knew I wasn't that anymore. And being able to seek God through that definitely made me who I am now.
That's fire.
So that's great.
That's fire to hear.
What has God shown you after that? What has God given you that you know it's a blessing from God, and how do you find things and peace through that?
I feel like I've been blessed with so many opportunities that I don't even realize, like just now, and even being like the people that I'm around and the people that I've been grateful enough to meet. And actually we started a Bible study for the kids, and me and my friends for the kids in Cocoa Beach, and we meet every Sunday on the beach, and we just started a few weeks ago, but it's grown so much, and God's blessed us with the ability to reach people that we didn't even think that would be interested in coming. And it started at 10 people, just 10 kids coming out.
That's still a lot. Hey,
Yeah.
give yourself some credit.
Yeah.
10 people for an event,
Yeah.
especially in today's world, everyone's busy, excuses, everything.
Yeah.
10 people, that's a good start. That's awesome.
It was a miracle because it got even bigger. And then the next week we were at like 27 people, and it was a huge circle, and you could barely hear what anybody was saying. It was so big, like from one side of the circle to the other. It was just so powerful to see like what God's doing in my community, and just like in the people that are closer to me, because I mean, we see all these miracles that God's doing. And a question that actually stood out to me a lot was one of the kids that came, he asked, because we were reading like about miracles in the book of Daniel, and Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and the story of Daniel and the lion's den and everything. And he asked, why doesn't God do those type of miracles now? And everybody was just kind of shocked by that, like, because it's such a hard-hitting question. But I feel like because Jesus performed those miracles, like, it's just so eye-opening to us. And I even thought it was just a miracle that, like, something called all those people to be there on that day and come and seek the Lord. And just like the little things that are around us every day, I feel like are miracles from God. And I think, and yeah.
So
No, I get what you're saying.
I think I heard you say that there are some people from Orlando that came to your Bible study.
Yeah, it was nuts. Last week there was 4 people from Orlando that came. Wow. I think it was like mutual friends, or I don't know, but it was.
Yeah, they're traveling far. What kind of role do you play in this Bible study?
Well, it's been just like all of us kind of getting together. It's mostly kids that are just like in my classes and stuff.
Yeah.
And one of my good friends started it, and we've been able to, we just meet every Sunday and we read, and my friend Ethan usually reads the chapter or whatever we're in, and we all kind of build off it and like learn together. It's not like one person talking. It's more like we all get something out of it because everybody's like wanting to know more, and they're curious, and we build off each other, which I feel like is really good. Just like keeping each other accountable and being able to like grow. That's why I feel like it's so good meeting with a lot of people like that. It's because people have ideas that you might not know, and something that you might not realize, and just being able to build off each other has helped me grow a lot. But I've actually had the great opportunity to, next month I'm going to be leading the book of John. So that's going to be a great opportunity for me to grow in my own faith and hopefully a lot of people get some good stuff out of it. And
It's a powerful book.
yeah,
it is.
but I feel like because I mean it is some deep believers, but just because we have so many maybe new believers that might not know too much or are just getting into it or are curious, I feel like John would be a really good book to just to lay the
Oh, it's a great
basis.
book.
And
It's one of the best.
yeah, and especially around Christmas time,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's a good book for everybody to where everybody should start. That's where I started.
Yeah, same actually. So you, all right. So Aiden, you said you've been like not new to the faith, but you've been consistent in the last couple of months. So are you baptized?
Well, actually, I was baptized when I was around 6 or 7, but that was around the time when it wasn't. I was young, so it wasn't really like it was kind of just like my mom's had signed me up to get baptized, and I was baptized at the beach, and it was a really great thing. Like my family came, and so I just feel like I wasn't really a conscious decision to give my life to Christ, and I mean I saw that as I grew. I didn't stay true to my promise, which was like by the baptism. And actually recently I've been feeling like really called to get baptized again and just really lay down my life to Christ and just make that declaration like this is really who I am now, and like this is how I want to live the rest of my life.
Dude, you should get Tim to baptize you.
Does he have the credentials for that?
I have the credentials for everything.
So Aiden, you've grown your relationship with the Lord more. Obviously, that's getting stronger. How is that playing a role in your friendships, your relationships, and then also sports? So, like, how? Just name us some areas that you feel like your relationship with God has helped you grow here instead of up here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So it's definitely changed a lot, just like the way I go about things, and it's been hard with like the people I'm surrounded with, but just finding a way, like what Tim was saying, like with discipleship, and just looking at it as an opportunity for people to see how I've changed and being able to like be that light to other people. That's always been my goal, and like if I can be that to somebody else and maybe like change the way, not change the way they think, but maybe open their eyes to something or like a way of living that they didn't see before, and just like show them the benefits that God has for them.
Fire.
And like he'll do the rest. And but yeah, actually I feel like it's been really, really encouraging and really welcoming. Like the people around me are like my friends that I wouldn't even expect are curious, and they want to know more, and they respect me for it. And I think that's really good, just to have a good support system around you. I feel like I've been blessed with people that are just good people, not even believers, that maybe are looking to find Christ but are still struggling. But I'm just blessed with even the believers that I've been able to meet along the way, and I hope I can keep getting deeper in my relationships with them and everything like that.
Yeah, I don't know why I kept seeing a woman there next to you.
That's crazy. Just like being that close to death is just like, I don't know, it was just crazy to me.